Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, so let's start with Robert, Olivia, and Dante. So pretty much they get there to the clinic, and at first things seem like they're going well as far as the paperwork and everything. And then Dante's doctor comes out and is like, well, I don't know about seeing you. I mean, I know you cleared it with them, but you didn't really clear with me, and I just don't think it's a good idea. So Olivia talks and talks and talks and talks, and she finally gets through, and she gets partially through, because the doctor's like, all right, listen, I'll talk to him, and if everything, if he's cool with it, then you can see him. This is the part where I'm trying to look at it from two different angles. Because part of me is just really disappointed. I'm not shocked, but I'm disappointed. Because, well, she doesn't see him. Long story short, she does not see him. And I'm just like, of course not. Now we actually get the character in the next room. Well, literally just a doorway just between them. And of course that doesn't happen. So I'm just like, yep. Typical soap operas, just dragging it on along. Now, I can understand how some people can see this. They can look at that scene like it was a beautiful scene, it was touching, and it was sad, and it was even, I would sit there and say, not for me personally, but like a This Is Us moment, a tearjerker moment. And I can see that. I can see the beauty within that scene of her just confessing her love for her son, seeing Dante hear it and being, crying and emotional and stuff like that. So I can see it from some people's perspective as far as it being a beautiful scene. For me, I saw it as one giant waste of time. I'm not even gonna bother to sugarcoat it. That's literally what I showed it as. Just a giant waste of time. Awesome, we get her there, we do this whole storyline, and she still does not see her son. So this went absolutely nowhere. Up until the point where she was not even questioning herself, like, well, you know what? Maybe Ned was right. Maybe I just set myself up to fail. The truth is, well, the partial truth is that he wasn't wrong. But the way that Ned has been acting, even if he was right, I wouldn't give him the satisfaction just out of principle. That's just not the truth. And then, Olivia's like, you know what, listen, let's just go to your friend's funeral, and, you still by me, I'm staying by you, and that's it. And that ends that scene. So, let's start with, well, probably actually my favorite scene. My favorite scene from character I've been giving so much grief over. But before I get started, I want to ask people, and I've been thinking about this all week, what does Sam do for work? Like, what does she do for work? I know that she gave her shares to Jax as far as being a controlling partner or whatever. I don't think that she actually works in that building anymore. She doesn't work with Nina. She doesn't work with Jax as far as being in that business side or Aurora or whatever. And she really doesn't do any PI work. So what exactly does she do? Because I can literally sit there and name off the top of my head. If I just picked a random character off of GH, hell, even off of Days, which, by the way, I'm actually going to start to get back into that show and start doing reviews. But yeah, what does Sam actually do? Well, hell, I even remember Jake does, he's a mechanic, at that shop. But what does Sam do? So, if you know what Sam does, please write it down in the comment section, because I'm just really curious about what she actually does. Like, seriously. But anyway, so at first, she's, it's her and Jason Smith talking to Brando, and at first she makes that remark of, oh, well, maybe it was just made to look like, you got beat up a little bit. And I was like, you kidding me? I literally was like, no. I was like, we're doing it again, aren't we? We're playing that character, aren't we? Then something crazy happened. After Jason left, well, actually, tell you the truth, she apologized for trying to blame Brando for the bike incident. Now, I was like, you know what? Even though you were being a real witch about it, I understood where she was coming from. He was the last person to mess with the bike. As much as I'm not liking this character, she is kind of valid. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, she apologized. I was like, wow, that's good. I mean, that's growth. That's one half of the problem. Still didn't get to the other half, which is about the TJ and Molly thing. But wait. When she came back and saw Brando trying to get out of bed for some odd reason, because, like, why is he trying to get out of bed? She's like, you know what? I want to apologize for the way I treated you about the whole Molly and TJ situation. I was like, whoa! I'm glad I was sitting down for that one. That really took me for a shock there. I was like, did she actually apologize? And then I was like, and I thought to myself, I know I'm not the only person that was giving her grief about that. I mean, I was just sitting there thinking, just joking to myself. I think Kelly Monaco actually watched my review and was like, maybe we should probably do something about Sam so that way she'd be less of a, starts with a B word. I'm trying not to curse. But yeah, I was sitting there thinking in my head, I was like, she watched my reviews? Because she like genuinely apologized. I know she's not, but I like to sit there and pretend that she is. Yeah, she apologized, and then she came back to Jason. After she passed through Cyrus, Sam, and Kevin. I don't remember if Cyrus was actually there. No, Cyrus wasn't there. But she found out that Monica and Bobby got fired. She went back to Jason's. And she was like, alright, well, you can be upset with me now. Because, you know, I kind of helped that along, so my bad. And that's pretty much where it ends. Which was actually my favorite scene, because again, she apologized. And I'm just sitting there thinking, you know, she's on a roll right now. She actually apologized. Man, I can't wait to see do something to screw up again. But you know what? I'm just gonna just roll with it until that happens. Let's talk quickly about Lulu, Kevin, and Cyrus. So, Kevin and Lulu are talking, trying to find out when Laura's coming back, which, by the way, I'm kind of curious myself. So they're wondering when she's coming back, and then Cyrus just, like, comes out of nowhere like the damn boogeyman. It's like, so yeah, I want to know when she's coming back. You know, and Kevin and Lulu are like, why are you so damn fixated on my damn mother? Like, why are you just like why are you so concerned? And he's all like, oh, well, you know, better relations and all this good stuff. And then somehow, I don't remember who said something, but Lulu found out that Bobby and Monica got fired. And, you know, she went off on a tirade like, why do you think you did? First of all, again, I want to sit there and remind people, someone is going to have to die for everyone else to live. And the reason why I say that is because, once again, you got Lulu just going all off, like, just, like, da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, do you realize who you're talking to? I mean, I know the whole, you know, she's a Spencer or whatever, but, like, you know, a bullet. That's it. That's all that needs to be said. And it doesn't even actually have to kill her. It could just, you know, put her in her place. But, you know, I guess she just somehow forgets that. And, you know, Cyrus is like, yo, listen, they opened us for a lawsuit. And you know what? I'm going to sit there and say an unpopular opinion. If you watch my videos, besides my soap opera reviews, well, I tend to do a lot of those. And you know what? I'm not going to sit there and lie. Like, listen, what they did was for a very great cause. And I'm happy that they did it. I don't regret that they did it. And if they had the choice of doing it again, I would tell them to do it. With that being said, yes, it did open up the hospital for a lawsuit. The hospital wasn't doing so good. And with their actions, they didn't help the hospital. So why would any new person come in there and be like, all right, well, I mean, we know that you did we know that you two did this thing that's going to probably, open up a lawsuit and could, put us in financial ruins, but yeah, you've been here for a while, so I'm just going to keep you. So from a business standpoint, I'm not saying that he's entirely wrong. Like, he's not actually wrong at all, if I'm going to be honest. So, anyway, they go back and forth, and, well, really nothing comes from it. And then they find out that Neil is dead, and, which, by the way, I gotta sit there and say, before I start with the whole Alexis, did that guy actually do something to get him in so much of a, like, messed up way of exiting? Like, did the actor actually do something? I know on South Park, whenever a person just leaves or whatever, they do something, like, a joke or whatever, or some sort of messed up way to, like, let you know that you screwed up and we don't like you, but we're gonna kind of, like, do it in a playful way. So, did the actor do something? Because let's talk about Alexis, Jordan, and, Julian. Anyway, where was I? I was not there thinking, I should probably talk about Julian before, but honestly, to tell you the truth, the only thing that really happened was that he talked to Valentine. He was like, where's Martin Gray? I need Martin Gray. I need to sit there and find out what's going on. And Valentine was just like, so you got some dirty secrets going on? I mean, what's going on? Honestly, to tell you the truth, that scene didn't go nowhere because Valentine pretty much said that I don't know where he's at. And when he comes back, I'll let you know. And Valentine taunted him. Julian kind of, was just being Julian and was like, all right, well, you can't find it. You can't find him, so you're no use. And then he just walked off. Anyway, let's talk about the three of them because, again, Alexis is at this point where Alexis is like, I don't believe that he did drugs. I don't believe it at all. This whole time where Jordan is like, so was he depressed? Was he upset? I mean, I know he lost his job. He lost a child. Saying, things are possible. She gave the whole, you'd be the last person to know if this person was doing drugs or this other stuff. And Alexis is just like, nope, I don't believe it. Do not believe it at all. So at this point, Alexis is just in denial. I say that into the very end, to some extent. Listen, she doesn't want to believe it, to contrary belief. She known the guy for a while. She doesn't think he did it. Even when they found an injection mark in his body, she was like, nope, I don't believe it. Julian comes over there, and after she pretty much bites off everyone's head, they go to the house to try to look for anything, any syringe or anything, and then Julian finds it, and Alexis just has that ish moment where, yeah, now she has to kind of just take it all in. One other thing before I go. After Jordan gives her report or whatever, asks the questions and stuff, she goes to Sarah's house and it's like, did you kill Neil? And I'm like, so yeah, she's like, did you kill Neil? And, Cyrus gives that, who, me? What are you talking about? I never did anything like that. At all. And at first I was like, why would you come to him for? But then again, I'm sitting there thinking, again, somebody has to die for everyone else to live. And, I mean, I don't know why he would actually sit there and target him. I don't see the motivation behind targeting him. Just targeting a random person just to make your point across. I mean, I really hope that's not the case, and somehow I think that is the case. But I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see. And last little thing that really happened, I guess, was really nothing. It pretty much was just Spinelli and Jason and Valentine and Peter. Peter is just pretty much trying to get information. I mean, well, not information, advice on how to deal with this whole Spinelli thing, the Jason thing. That he knows some stuff. You know, he came to me and said some stuff, and what should I do? That's pretty much all it was. It was just Peter asking Valentine for advice the whole time. That's their whole scene. And the only thing that Valentine really gave was keep up the charade, and I'll help you from behind the scenes the best way I can. The end. That was literally it. I just saved people a bunch of time if they didn't see it. So yeah. And I want to sit there and say something else because I'm actually really disappointed. Spinelli was going on and on and on. Oh, I found evidence that we need to take Peter down to take down the final boss because, you know, at this point that's just how I see it. He was like, you know, Stone Cold, I got this. Let me just share you the proof right here. And Jason looks at it and he's like, well, that's not really proof. That's just hearsay at best. It's just something that they're saying Nell is blowing up my life or whatever, but there's no actual proof. So that whole time that, you know, on Friday that I was like, all right, cool. So we got something, right? I mean, we got something, right? No, we didn't get anything because that's what soap operas like to do. It's just stretch it along. Literally, that was it. That was it. Yeah, and that's really all I actually have. Just told Spinelli to keep digging and just take his time. You know what? I have to sit there and say I think that I was right when Spinelli kind of gave up his plan for a reason, just to rattle Peter, and yeah. Okay, alright, Spinelli, I guess you're sometimes smarter than you give yourself credit for. There's a difference, you know, before I go, there's a difference between book smart and people smart. You can do the greatest on tests and everything, and when it comes towards people in certain situations, you can be as dumb as a rock. And sometimes I'm just sit there and wonder about Spinelli's situation. But anyway, that's actually it. That's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. About to actually start watching Days and getting back into it. Here's another thing. Here's another reason why I probably stopped a little bit was because I was also studying for my ASVEST test for the Navy. So it was hard to actually work, do 2 of those shows, do the reviews, and study at the same time. But now I feel like I have a little bit more time and I kind of miss Days. Not because I find it better than General Hospital, but because sometimes I feel like it balances out General Hospital in certain ways. So anyway, I'm about to do that. Yeah, that's actually gonna it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to me ramble. And by the way, again, if anybody knows what Sam does for work, please let me know, because at this point I think that you know what, I'm not actually gonna sit there and insult her since she actually did something good today. So have a good day, good night, depending on when you're watching this. Be safe. I will catch you in the next review.